Today we're going to talk about being prepared. If you are playing your first gig, you're playing an open mic, or you're playing your 1000th gig, you don't want to be the guy that forgot a guitar cable. This video is sponsored by Cable Wrangler, and because it's a sponsored video, that means we get to give one away. So do two things for me. Make sure that you check out the link to this thing in the description of this video below, and you stick around to the end of the video because we're going to tell you how you can get one of these things. I'm going to send you one. What's going on? This is Dylan Talks Tone. So today we're going to talk about being prepared for going out and playing gigs. If it's your first gig, if you're going out for an open mic, if you've been playing for a long time, chances are you know that it's easy to forget stuff, right? And so we're going to talk about kind of pre-gaming ahead of time, what you normally would bring with you. The list of stuff, like the must-haves that you should have with you every time, and make sure that you don't forget. Now this is going to change for everybody. I'm going to show you, I have kind of not a typical rig like most people have, you know, an amp and a pedal board and a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and put my rig together, and I'm going to talk about the stuff that I would bring with me every time. Obviously, I'm going to bring two guitars. I'm usually going to bring my one electric that I play. Typically I bring only one. Maybe I'll bring a Tele, maybe I'll bring a Strat, depends what I'm feeling that day, the gig, whatever, it doesn't matter. It also depends what guitar I have, right? Because I build them and they go away and they come, you know, whatever. So right now, this is my hotness, the blue Strat. So with a single hum setup, that's my guitar, my go-to guitar. So that's gonna go in my mono bag. We'll leave links to all this in the description. In here, I will usually make sure that I have a custom strap that I use. I will also make sure that I have a bunch of picks, and I will also make sure that I have an extra set of strings for this guitar in this case. Then the other thing I will always bring with me is a clip-on tuner. Even though my Kemper that we'll get to that in a minute, has a tuner built in, I always bring a clip-on tuner as well. The other thing is I always bring a toolkit, so that goes in there too. Let's talk about real quickly the rig, the actual guitar rig. So I play a Kemper. I do not play a full range flat response speaker. I actually play a guitar cabinet. And the reason we're bringing this up is because of the cable needs that I have. Obviously this video is sponsored by Cable Wrangler. We're going to get to that in a minute. And we have my Kemper. And as you just saw me do there, all the cabling for the Kemper that's in the studio that we use to record with stays there. And then I take this with me, but I need a full second set of cabling for the Kemper to go with me. And let's talk about cabling needs. First of all, we need a guitar cable. The speaker cable that goes from the cabinet to the Kemper, because I use the cabinet when I'm playing an electric rig as my personal monitor. Power cable. I need the cable that goes from the Kemper to the foot controller. Second guitar cable. If it's possible, wherever it's possible, if there's a good PA, I like to run the Kemper stereo to the PA, and I basically just use the guitar cabinet for my own personal monitor. But what everybody hears, for the most part, is the line out signal. Two XLR cables. So we've got left and right for that. Alright, so we've got all of our cables. We've got picks, we've got our tuner, we've got our tools, we've got everything we need. Here's the thing. When you do this, I would recommend setting it all up at home. The entire rig that you have, and work one end to the other to make sure that you don't miss anything. Like follow your signal from the guitar to the pedal board to the amp. Now, if you're using an actual pedal board with pedals, you might want to bring extra batteries. You might want to bring an extra patch cable or two in case you have a trouble with that. Get those at Dylan Talks Tone. We make really good ones. Here's where the Cable Wrangler comes in. This is a sponsored video by Cable Wrangler. Let's pop away really quick and unbox this thing. Let me show you what comes in it. I'm sure you've seen it on Facebook. I've been using this thing for about 2 weeks, and I'm going to show you why it's so valuable. But first of all, let's take it out of the box. All right, so the Cable Wrangler comes in this box. Let's get this thing unboxed. Got some directions. So we've got the black handle, and then there's these balls, and basically you just put the cable on there, loop it through, and then this, when this goes in, it clicks in like that so that they don't fall out. So these things aren't going to fall out. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's possible that you're thinking that, because on Facebook and stuff it looks kind of plasticky and kind of weird. It's actually built really well, like really strong. So why are we even talking about this? Because when you get to the gig, so I prepared everything. I got it all, I put it all in the case, right? So then you get to the gig and you're met with this, right? Like then you have to deal with this. This sucks. Now I have to go through and untangle all of this and go, okay, let me grab, first I need the patch cable, and then, so let me plug this in, so then we plug that in, and then I need, you know what I mean? And this, right here. Who wants to be this guy? This doesn't look very well prepared, ever. Look at this. It doesn't work. I'm gonna show you how this works, and how this thing completely changed my preparation schedule and skill. It comes with a bunch of these bungee ball things. And so basically what you do is you take a cable and you push it through here like this, and you go like that, and then you put it on this cable wrangler thing, and it's got this little thing and it clicks in. Once it clicks in, it's in there. And it doesn't come out or it doesn't fall out, and it's awesome. But most of you probably don't have two complete sets of cables for your home versus your gigging rig. Chances are that you actually have to tear it down and pack it all up and take it. That's what makes this, to me, so valuable, because you don't forget anything. So as you unplug stuff, you can go in your mind and go, okay, this is what I'm taking with me. All right, so now what I've done here is I've followed my signal chain all the way through. And you notice the whole time I'm doing it, I'm literally just like, you can throw it around and just, you know, you'd be able to throw it in the back of your car, do whatever you want, and the cables do not get tangled up. And then when you get there, your setup is like the opposite. So you're like, you can go bang, 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 and you can like streamline your setup at the gig. I use it around the studio, just like you see here. So this is like a really multi-purpose setup that we have here, right? So sometimes I'm shooting a video, sometimes we're editing video, sometimes we've got podcast stuff set up in here. So my cable needs change every day. So I have cables living on this thing that when I need two mic cables, I can just go over there and grab them. And you can hang it like from a nail in your closet or somewhere, and you've got everything right there. Because this thing holds so much weight, you can actually, you could hang tools from it, you could hang whatever you want from it. I think it's amazing. It's awesome. When I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was super gimmicky. I also, when I first saw it, thought it's too big. You use more cables than you think. I never would have thought that I would have used 2/3 of this thing, just me being a guitar player, and I don't even have a pedal board. We're gonna put a link to it in the description below. They sponsored this. Thank you for sending this thing to me. As a result of that, I actually have the black one that we unboxed, and I'm gonna give it to somebody. So here's what I want you to do. Just go in the comments below we're gonna leave the comments open for this for a few weeks. So stay tuned to our upcoming videos, and I'll tell you when we close that. But what I'd like you to do is comment about the cable wrangler and what you would use it for in the comments below. We're gonna pick a comment at random and we're gonna give it away. We'll leave it open for a couple of weeks. Like I said, stay tuned for through our upcoming videos, and we'll send this thing to you. What do we learn? Preparation is key, and that there are tools to make it easier. You can show up at a gig with, whether it's an open mic night, whether it's your 1000th gig or your first paid gig. And you can, if you take a little preparation, a little time to prepare ahead of time, map it all out, know everything that you need, you'll show up and you won't be that guy that's like, oh, hey man, I don't have a pick. Hey man, can I borrow your clip-on tuner? That's a popular one. Hey man, I forgot my power cable. I gotta run back home and get it. So we're gonna be like 20 minutes late getting started. You don't want to be that guy. This thing solves 90% of those problems, provided that you take the time ahead of time and make sure that you get everything together and line it all up. My name is Dylan. This is Dylan Talks Tone. Do me a favor, put it in the comments and let me know what you think of this thing, because I think it's really cool. I like it. I'm a fan. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm giving one away, but I'm also keeping one. I really like this thing. Thanks to Wrangler for sponsoring this video, and we'll talk to you soon.